Let me show you what a broken mind can create.
Put the lights back on and I'll still remain the same. Put the lights back on and I'll show you my scars. I wouldn't trade a single one of them.
Put the lights back on and I'll still remain the same. Put the lights back on and I'll show you
what defines me.
spoken truth.
The power of what?
The power of God. The power in us. The power to create.
From our mind, tell our stories and pick out the things we know to be true. Tell our stories in the best ways we know how to.
Spoken truth. Lights on. The light's a little too bright because everything is much clearer now. I see myself as a child. I see the hands I held and the ones that held me. I see every step, every footstep, every stumble, every person who shaped me. I see all the hands that held me, every footstep, every stumble who shaped me. I see all the footprints leading to this very moment.
Lights on. Sometimes, lights on, lights on, lights on. The lights are a little too bright, so I close my eyes and listen. Close my eyes and pray. Close my eyes and trust. I allow myself to see this world from different angles. See all the colors mixed up in this black and white reality.
Lights on. The lights are a little too bright because I've been in the dark too long. I've been scared too long. My heart has been torn too long. My history has been torn too long. My culture has been erased and torn and diluted, forgotten, torn, rewritten, diluted, forgotten, torn, rewritten, diluted, forgotten too long. Lights on. The lights are a little too bright, but everything is much clearer now. Lights on. A little bit more light for the angels that guide us. Lights on. A little bit more light for the honest voices that we lost along the way. Lights on. A little bit more light because we refuse to let them tell us our stories don't matter.
We refuse to let them silence our truths with their propaganda. Like something about religion makes me question why so many truths are hidden. Something about Western aid makes me wonder whether they only give us aid so they can devalue us. Something about my culture being silenced by the West, my roots being erased, doesn't sit right. Something about our anthem being in a language other than our own doesn't sit right. Something about our children being rebuked, ridiculed for speaking their mother tongues in school doesn't sit right. Something about our idols being exchanged for new ones doesn't sit right. So many little somethings, so many little somethings, so many little somethings I silence before you call me the madman. Lights on.
Lights off.
Lights on.
Lights off.
Lights on.
Lights off. The switch has always been inside me. Sometimes I just don't know which side is which. Quiso,
Mando,
quiso,
Mando,
mumaze,
ne,
mumaze.
tunala.
Hidden little games in my childhood, hidden little gems in my childhood. Papa told me in order to play a game right, you have to learn the instructions well. Learn them so you can master the game, son. Master them so you can master the game, son. If you lose the instructions, you lose, son. Read them again, read them again, read them again, read them again, son. Now play. Quiso,
Mando,
quiso,
Mando,
mumaze,
ne,
mumaze.
tunala.
Hidden little games in my childhood, hidden little gems in my childhood. Mama told me a good meal puts a smile on every face. Cook it right, put your heart in it and serve it with love. Never let hatred foster in your heart, child. It spills into everything you touch. Let go of your past and be brave, child. Hatred is for cowards and my son is a brave child. You've always been brave, so be brave, be brave, be brave, be brave, child. Now smile. Have you ever laughed? Have you ever lost? Does it stay the same? Does it burn and grow? Have you ever laughed? Have you ever lost? If you never came, where did it ever go? So growing up, love never came easy. I guess that's why I learned to recognize her pretty easily. So she always came with a gift, she always left with a gift. I saw her in the earliest moments of my childhood, in the friends I loved whose faces I barely remember. I saw her in the eyes of the first girl I held and learned how to make a girl smile. Learn things that only lovers know, like how to hold hands and make a heartbeat sink, how to kiss and how to fight, how to live when it doesn't feel right. I saw her live when she held another's hand and learned that love and hate are two sides of the same coin. I saw her in nights when I could find no one else. Learn to listen to my heart's voice. Learn to trust the God in me. Have you ever loved? Have you ever lost? Does it stay the same? Does it burn and grow? See, roses are not always red. Some are little black and blue. And black is beautiful, so is blue. All different shades of me that I unravel each time I paint. Different pieces of me that I try to fit in a perfect Rubik's Cube until they don't. Until the roses are not red. See, roses don't always have thorns. Some are little plain but beautiful. I see my thorns, my imperfections, holding me together in unexpected places. I see my friends and foes holding me together in unexpected places. I see myself a little red, a little blue, and I still see a rose. Because love is beautiful even when it's lost. Have you ever loved? Have you ever lost? Is it still the same? Is it bound and drawn? Have you ever loved? Have you ever lost? If you never came, would it ever go? The art, the one we treasure, the one we watch on our walls, play on our phones, hang when we're at home. See, I believe art is the ability to give meaning to the things we love. Art allows us to understand what you can't explain, to explain the most complex things using the simplest of words, a way to give the things we love meaning, a way to understand the most complex things using the simplest of words. See, the art comes first. Everything builds on top of it. The art is of course always invaluable, but we live in a world of trade, so what better way to care than to trade at an honest price? The audience, the one that listens, the one that pays attention to the art and pays money, or sometimes, to the artist. The one that pays attention to the art and saves the artist from being called a madman. The one that lends the artist their ego and gives the artist their attention.
Wewe ni nani, gwani? Wewe ni nani, gwani? Wewe ni nani, gwani? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Wewe ni nani, gwani?
The artist. So the artist's journey is that of a dreamer. And in one of his dreams, every artist earns a worthy wage. It's a hazy dream, but the artist holds on with every single breath. Because in that dream, children can proudly tell their parents a dream of being artists when they grow up. And the scientist and artist stereotypes are non-existent. So it's a hazy dream, but the artist holds on. The artist holds on because someday in the dream he visits a certain Geoffrey poet to pick him up for a theatre festival in Kampala while Jason Itaro is driving us in his blue Suzuki. So it's a hazy dream. Just a dream, but the artist holds on. The artist holds on with every single breath. The artist holds on with every single breath because someday in the dream, George the poet is president because he understands that the systems in our African communities are broken. He understands that our African communities will not be saved by politics and corrupt government. He understands that our African communities will be saved by art. It's a hazy dream. Just a dream, but the artist holds on. The artist holds on with every single breath because in that dream, 16-year-old poets can be healthily mentored by leaders who don't fight like 16-year-olds, and they never have to worry about being sexualized on and off stage because all the sexual predators have been locked up for at least 16 years. It's a hazy dream. Just a dream, but the artist still holds on.
Wewe ni nani, gwani? Wewe ni nani, gwani? Wewe ni nani, gwani? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Wewe ni nani, gwani? Oh, wewe ni nani, gwani?
Wewe ni nani, Geoff?
You see, once I was a victim of myopic centrism that hung on that cliff of self-activism until a lifeline was drawn for me to hang on.
scarred hands onto a rugged piece of wood, pierced feet onto a wedged log. Now, with every single ink, I aim to speak to the downcast, speak for the hurting outcast. Poetic, I'm artistic, faith fanatic yet realistic, articulate with the futuristic, eloquent about the craptastic. Draft 1, draft 2 is my mandate, and man, that's my identity. Who are you? Wewe ni nani, gwani? Wewe ni nani, gwani? Ayoki, who are you?
Oh my. Does it really matter? Why in the UN Charter is the right to be who we are? Allow me to take liberty. Allow me to take advantage of the liberty, liberal, no liberated window, until you identify as no. This is my identity. I am African. Half my heart pumps, stomps and throbs with the strength of the trigger. This tongue, however much it forgot how, once rolled and wrapped itself around Langi. I am the blend of hills, color and milk. I am the sun beauty of those that came before me. I am my people, and my people are me. I am Ainomu Gisa. I am Ayoki. My shrine Kuriza once killed a leopard with his bare hands. On his own. For his own. I trickle from a lineage of warriors. Warriors and emperors, emperors and kings, kings and chiefs, chiefs and clan heads and heads of homesteads. I descended from those that conquered mountains, hunted beasts, and could smell and tell if a fruit was poison. I am a branch that conquered wave and sea, but was cut and today bleeds. I bleed for the culture disconnect. The fact that English is my first language and I'm a stranger even to my own tribemates. I bleed for the culture disconnect. The fact that English is my first language and I'm a stranger to even my own tribesmates. I barely know who I am anymore. I've barely ever known. Jason, who are you?
In my home, legal lies are scripted by the legal eyes to legalize my demise. In my home, my roof of shelter leaks, and through that crack seeps a slime that prohibits my speak. The kitchen from where I eat is where the provider cheats and takes my lot for their own keep. Where has our nature gone? You see, there was a time when words once spoke to the soul of man, when the Son of Man understood the chemistry of one, when the strings around land were dust and feet, but now these strings turn shackles are boots and concrete. Humanity seems to stream on by, suffering an up waterfall climb, losing limb after limb after limb after limb, until nothing is left of kinsmen. Scum has become the well that we shoot to drink from. Disease is where we try to get all of the things that we want to get from. Ill-hearted darkness now becomes the norm, and in the belly of our envy, the greatest evil is being reborn. Our children are being fed on brain drain and heart starvation, which is wrapped up in that beautiful bow path that we like to call education. Then we leave them to flutter the streets and fill the air with frustration. And then us as adults, we feel good when we call them hooligans. Slowly, in the comfort of our thorny nest, we fertilize our disconnect from the branch to the trunk, from the trunk to the root, from the root to the truth. Our root has dried loose. Slowly, Slowly, in the comfort of our thorny nest, we fertilize our disconnect from the branch to the trunk, from the trunk to the root, from the root to the truth. Our root has dried loose. But who is to blame? Is it us or those that we choose to rule us? Is it the rebels or those that feed the rebels' gun lust? Is it poverty or poverty's card of injustice? It could be them. It might be them. Or it's them. Them who place their foot on your mouth, they bib you and force you to feed their own route. Their actions are in the open as if a subtle warning. Dare to speak and you will follow soon, so hush. Hush, we go silent but fester a storm. Because one day a voice will come riding with a chant. One day the papers cast will finally count. One day the mummified leaders won't politic about. One day, someday will be this day. One day, someday could be this day. Monday, maybe this day. And one day they will chop off the lips of him who sings of one day. And so one day, someday is this day.
You never forget the places you loved as a child. And if you're lucky enough, you get to revisit a few of them. A few of the places you loved, the people you loved, the things you lost. My roots are the experiences that I choose to hold on to, holding me together in unexpected places. My roots are perfectly webbed together, holding me steady as I climb. My roots are exactly where they're supposed to be. My roots are shared. My roots are not mine alone. They're shared with the people I love and those who loved me. My roots are what hold my identity. Our roots are what hold our identity. Thank you.